Welcome to footballgameplan.com, where football makes sense. I'm Memory Hunters are of the playbook. Bring you a 2012 Canadian Football League team preview for the Edmonton Eskimos, presented by 13thman.com. So let's look at the Eskimos offense to see what they can expect in 2012. The quarterback position in 2012 for the Edmonton Eskimos will look a lot different as opposed to years past. We're used to seeing number 15 back there, Ricky Ray, but now they bring over Steven Giles from the Toronto Argonauts, and he's going to compete with a slew of guys, Matt Nichols, Eric Ward, Kerry Joseph, the veteran holdover, and Jeremiah Masoli as well. Giles does bring some athleticism to the position. He also brings youth to the position, but can he pick up where Ricky Ray left off, who did a lot of great things for this Eskimo franchise? And he does have the wealth of talent at his disposal at the receiver position. Is all going to fall on Giles, whether or not he can carry the torch that Ricky Ray already set in place. You look at the running game. Gone is Jerome Messam. Gone is Quentin Porter. So I have some serious concerns about whether or not they can run the football this year. And I know last year they were able to do so, and that's what brought them the balance. That's what made these guys one of the tougher teams to beat. Can guys like Kelvin McCarty, guys like Hugh Charles, can they pick up the slack and carry the load in the running game? If so, this team won't miss a beat on the ground. We already know the strength of this offense lies in its receiving core, led by Fred Stamps, the UL Raging Cajun himself, the future Hall of Famer out there for the Edmonton Eskimos. Catches everything thrown his way, outstanding hands. You team him up with a Darius Bowman, another big guy that catches everything as well. So these two guys do a great job getting open. Yes, they bring over an outstanding target, a guy that's going to be money near the red zone, and Greg Carr from the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. So that's just going to open up that offense, because you lose Jason Barnes, but you replace him with Greg Carr. That's a huge asset to this team. Now you have Stamps, Bowman, Carr, and two young guys that I'm looking forward to see play a lot. Nate Cohorn, the 2011 draft selection, and also this year's rookie Shamard Chambers. Can these guys come in and compete at a high level? If so, this receiving core may possibly, well, quite possibly be the best in the CFL. In 2010, the O-line was a huge weak spot. In 2011, it was a great strength. They did a great job of protecting Ricky Ray and following open holes in the running game. You look at guys like Gordon Hintz, guys like Kyle Koch, guys like their second-round draft selection last year, and Scott Mitchell from Rice. These guys are sound up front. The interior offensive line is a strength. They will be able to protect. Now, it's tough when you're moving from a guy like Ricky Ray to a mobile guy like Giles. So the O-line may look like it's giving up sacks, but it's not going to be the O-line's fault. It's going to be the mobile quarterback running himself into trouble. But I think the O-line is a strength of this offense as well. Pressure, pressure, pressure. The defensive line last year for the Edmonton Eskimos lived in the backfield. You look at guys like Etienne Lagari, Julius Williams, Marcus Howard. Combined, these guys had 21 sacks. And this year, they get a bit of a break by bringing back a guy from injury in Rashad Genty. So if he can check out medically, this front three will be able to put a lot of pressure on opposing quarterbacks, and that's something you really need in the CFL. You got to be able to create pressure. You got to be able to get to the QB, and they do a great job up front in the Edmonton Eskimos. They didn't lose a lot on this defensive front. They should be solid again in 2012. Now you look at the linebacking core. They are the direct beneficiaries of great defensive line play. Guys like Damaso Munoz, he should have a breakout year. TJ Hill, JC Sherritt. All these guys do is make tackles. Yes, they lose a key guy back there in Rod Davis, but Sherritt, Hill, and Munoz, it wouldn't surprise me if one of these guys make an all-pro team, an all-CFL team, because they have that type of talent. Guys also excel in coverage. So not only can they do it stopping the run, but they can also do it in the passing game. Weldon Brown is one of the more underrated corners in the CFL. This guy is always around the football. 5 interceptions last season. It wouldn't surprise me to see him get 5 to 8 interceptions again this year. One guy that's always around the ball, Johnny on the spot, making big plays, and is very smart in his coverage responsibilities. You have another guy back there in Chris Thompson, the Wily vet. Big guy, plays more of a weak safety type position, but is always around the football, always doing a great job in causing the big play, and also is not afraid to step up in the running game. One thing about their secondary is that they are, again, just like the linebacking core, direct beneficiary of great defensive line play. When your defensive line gets pressure, it makes everyone else's job that much easier, especially when you have the talent, as the Eskimos do, in the back half of their defense. The the fact that they have quite possibly the best receiving core in the CFL, that should give you reason for optimism. Also, you couple the fact that their defense is pretty much still intact. Maybe one or two guys are gone, key players. So overall, they're strong at the receiver spot. They're strong at the offensive line. They're strong on the defensive side of the football. If the QB spot can play up to speed, up to par, then this team won't miss a beat. They'll be back in the playoffs in 2012. A cause for concern is that aforementioned quarterback position. Can Giles step up and be the tremendous leader that they expect him to be? Can he be a clear-cut replacement of Ricky Ray? And also the running game. Can they generate any type of yards in the running game without Messam and Porter? If they can, again, this offense won't miss a beat, and the Eskimos will be back in the playoffs this season. When you replace a quarterback like Ricky Ray, you have to drop down a little bit. I think this team will still make the playoffs, but they'll finish third in the West Division. Look for these guys to pick up as the season progresses. Giles will get more comfortable, and he brings an added dimension to that offense. He can scramble and get out the pocket and cause a lot of damage to opposing defenses. So with that said, I think, again, they finished third, but I still think they make the playoffs this season. For more CFL coverage, visit footballgameplan.com, and to talk more CFL football with CFL fans, visit 13thman.com.